Our next presenter, we have two left. Our next presenter is kind of a triple. We have a newbie in Mr. Tim Anderson, and we have two Hall of Famers that have been here before, Luke Day and Chip Morton. I'm just gonna let them get into it and see what you think. Super special. We'll give them to you.
Trailing only 10-0. Oh, big hit. Ball is popped free. It's still rolling around, but it was ruled incomplete initially. Incomplete. Giovanni Bernard got stamped on the play. Vontae Davis just leveled him.
Well, real close to being a backwards pass, but a good legal hit. We're seeing how defenses are adjusting to the illegal contact with the head. Here it's a shoulder shot to Bernard right in the midsection.
Go ahead and pause it.
Again, it was real close to being.
Go ahead and pause it. Giovanni Bernard had a problem. Second quarter, when I was coaching with the Bengals, we were having a bigger problem that day. We got beat 27-0. But Giovanni Bernard had a problem, which created a problem for me the next day. So first of all, thank you for coming. It's good that we are here. And I'm getting emotional. I'm not even talking. I haven't started yet, but thank you for coming. I could not eat tortilla chips and be sitting. I'd be asleep by now. So I appreciate your being on time. To Sornex, thank you for bringing us, for inviting us. A lot of conversation, and we appreciate it. Always honored. It was a problem for Giovanni because the doctor came to me the next day, which is a training day in the NFL, and he had a sternoclavicular injury. He had bruised ribs and internal bruising. And so the orthopedist came to me, and that usually it's the head trainer. The doctor came and said, he cannot lift weights. And I'm like, oh, he's got like lacerations and stuff in his insides. So now I have a problem because my head coach, Marvin Lewis, says, and you got to get him ready for next Sunday as best we can. Not putting him in danger, but how do we get him to next Sunday? The good news was my problem was solved 7 months earlier when I brought Mr. Tim Anderson to Cincinnati for an in-service with my staff. I had read some of his work. I was probably one of the first. He had a PDF and put out way back when. I was one of the early. I just love information. I love movement. And I've done it long enough where I've kind of gotten through everything. And invited Tim up. And he showed me what are called the resets. And he's going to speak to all that today and the ideas behind it. But I brought him up, and if anybody wants to see it, I filmed it in-house and all that. But I'll tell you, I looked back in my records from 2014 last night, just so I'd have a talking point. And he came in March. And throughout my off-season program, I had only a little couple things that he had taught me embedded in the program. Very traditional stuff. And I embedded head nods, head movement, and rocking. Okay, but not that much. And then Giovanni got hurt, and the word came down from on high, he cannot lift weights. So my origin story is, wait a minute, I have some ideas. I have some ideas that'll work. Training, what Tim's gonna talk about today, and I wanna open your hearts and minds for him. I'm just the harbinger of what Tim's gonna say, because he taught me. And 10 years later, if you want to talk about, I can give you story after story, and I'm passionate about it, as you can tell, because it is in our program with Luke Day, this underlies everything we do. All our discussions get back to being our unique and wonderful design. We talk about that all the time. It's on t-shirts. Well, I don't know if it's on that's not on t-shirts, but in our place it is, should be. You are all uniquely and wonderfully made. This I know full well. Our design. Well, what Tim's going to tell you about is movement, a restorative movement. We say movement training that honors our design. It doesn't negate or replace anything in this room or any of the programs you're doing. It just makes it better. Puts a deeper foundation, puts deeper roots into everything you do. So your squat will get better. We have guys in our program, they run so fast on minimal what we consider technical training that it's almost, hey, we got to take it back because we are taking the brakes off of our athletes. And it runs throughout our program, the resets. So with Giovanni Bernard, he played, so it was, with Giovanni, it was diaphragmatic breathing. And I'll give a little, what's it called, spoiler. It was a little bit of rocking, but he had this SC, so it had to be gentle. It was hand and knee crawling eventually. The rolling was called an egg roll because he couldn't, I can't reach and roll. And he trained that way for the next couple of weeks, and he played the next week against Baltimore. If you go ahead and go to the next slide. So don't go ahead and skip that. Our media guy found that for me. That is the next week at home against the Baltimore Ravens. He played. 6 carries for 45 yards, not a big day, but he scored a touchdown in a 27-24 win against the vaunted Ravens. That's the first thing. Second story, quickly. So that's my origin story. I was kind of like, this is weird, and Tim's gonna have pictures of babies, and you can be like, what? I kind of know what original strength is, but I don't know. It's weird, and he's really flexible, and I'm asking you to get past that. Open your hearts and open your minds to the potential, because it is divine, and it does not. And I've 10 years now, and I'm looking at everything. And it does not stand in opposition to any other movement system, any other thing you're doing. It's going to come to a simplified version. I look for common threads in training and in ideologies and in anything. I look for common threads through cultures. So, just take a yoga pose. Well, now we're, API, they do this, world's, whatever. That was done 1,000 years ago in yoga. So it must work because it stood the test of time. I can see that throughout history of movement. Well, this is what Tim's going to talk about, is how we are made and how we all went from a fetus with a C-shaped spine into an upright, bipedal, wonderful human being. That program is knit into each and every one of us, into your DNA. Now, it doesn't always happen that way. Injury, insult, things happen. So even the person that doesn't walk bipedally, unfortunately, that program is still in the DNA. And all he's going to talk about is how do we revisit all the things, and it's really simple stuff that make you you. And for a performance standpoint, helps you to perform better. Pressing reset. It dials into elasticity. The brain, the nurses always wants to get information. It wants good input. And if I get good input, which the resets will do, and he's going to show you some things today, if I get better input, I'll get much better output. I'll squat heavier. I'll run faster. I'll be smarter. My emotions will be better. My second growth, so that was the initial get over the fear, which that's where you guys are at now. This is weird. How am I going to get my athletes to do it? I'm afraid. Imagine me with NFL players. Geno Atkins really never bought in. He would do the groin rock, okay, let's do groin rock like Geno. Adam Jones liked the half roll. It's good for my golf game. But I was always trying to maneuver that, and Luke was there. I'm always trying to maneuver that. My second growth spurt came when I got hit with a fire hose of clients, so to speak. After we got fired from the Bengals, I spent 6 months on a small base in Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. And I was training professionals. I guess Chipper said I can use the term operators. We had operators, we had that said. And honorable, I don't want to use the word, but these are killers. That's what, rugged people, scary people, but also parts get broken. parts get broken. And it's not just on veterans, it's on all of us. Traumas, hurts, things we remember. Everything we experience, we carry with us. And what Tim's gonna talk about is, okay, how do we unearth that? How do I tell my body, how does my brain tell my body, it's safe? It's safe. I'm gonna give you that depth on that squat. I'm gonna give you that extra, I'm gonna make you feel better. I'm gonna make you be able to do my job because my back's not on fire every day. How do we get to that? Because this, and it's gonna sound weird, it's healing. I've seen it. In working in that population, I had men that, I don't know, one person particularly, he said he had red light pain. He was a master diver. Red light pain, I can't even imagine it. And the doc, the base doc, who I also trained, he hurt his back doing a Murph, and he was a 40-something DO, and he was the base doc. He's like, I can't train anymore, I'm getting depressed. Can you work with me? I did. And he sent the master dive to me. And he's like, but just, he's gonna have surgery, but I think he had the kind of shoulders, like I told Chipper, that if he probably jumped hard, one would dislocate. It was like that. And here's a guy, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm with him. He's like, be careful. And so we went through a bunch of resets. And to make a long story short, he ended up rocking on one arm, and I told the doctor, he's what? Because it's reflexive. It's knit into us. It's safe. Okay, I'm gonna give you this. And I didn't push, I watched regressions. But at the end, and I'll share this, we had the moment where he's like, he was emotional, and he's like, the look said, what just happened? And I said, that was not a magic trick. It was not, and it's emotional for me because like, I'm like, it's nothing. I said, it's all you. I didn't do it, you did it. Your body knows what to do. I just help you kind of piece through it. So for you guys, I told you, it's a no-brainer. And for all of you, if you have people or for yourself and you want to perform better, you're gonna listen to Tim. Last but not least, let's go to the next one. I don't wanna belabor this, I'm already going too far.
Good job by the O-line.
Fast forward, go to the next one.
Pop stays on his feet.
Go to the next one, please, yeah.
Got a small defender on him. Shovel pass, Sanders.
Biggest run in South Carolina history. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay.
South Carolina back in front.
You can pause that. So Giovanni Bernard was like my origin story. 3 weeks of like, oh no. The military population taught me like, this is really intense and these guys are not gonna buy any bullshit. And I'm just gonna try to help them be honest, be authentic. And I had lots of people. And then Rocket Sanders comes into our lives in South Carolina. This is our long-term project. He came to us, he's already an all-SEC running back in 22. But by the time we got him, he was 20 pounds overweight, he had a shoulder in a sling, and he had a worn-out knee. And honestly, he's like, So we bring him in, and we were like, Luke and I were like, we can help you. We can help you. And 8 months, and we immersed. His training with me was very deeply embedded in original strength principles. And we entered him into the conventional off-season, the summer program. By the time summer came, he was ready to embed and did everything in flying colors. And he ran faster in game than he had ever run before. And at the combine, he was the fastest, highest speed running back at the combine. Now the performance guys that trained him after that, they get credit for that too. But it was Luke, it was Yimmy, our nutritionist, it was our medical staff, it was a team effort. But he was with me, I watched every workout he did from January to the end of the season. So I can speak a little bit to it. So all I can tell you is now opening your hearts and minds because it's profound. And I can't do it justice. I've just seen it again and again and again. So overcome your feeling of self-conscious, weird, what is it? Just think about it today, learn what you can, and then maybe do a deeper dive. That's my exhortation to all of you. And it will change your life and your people's life. If they're hurt or not, it'll make everything more wonderful. So right now, after a long introduction, let's give a big SummerStrong welcome, round of applause to Mr. Tim Anderson.
Hey, I'm Tim. Anybody ever heard of original strength before? Sweet. Tell your friends. I'll skip to the very end. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and it is my hope that you know that you know that you know that when all this is over. Stronger by design, we're all born to be strong. That is your design. So, how many of you feel better right now? Why? Because you took in something that was good and beautiful, and it makes your brain feel safer. I'm 50. It took me 45 years to figure out that it feels good to feel good. Last week I dropped a 45-pound weight plate on my foot, and I can tell you that it really does feel good to feel good. But we are designed to be strong, which means we're designed to feel good. How many of you know that you cannot separate any part of yourself away from another part of yourself? Right? Like, if you see a child skipping, what do you see on their face? Joy. Why is that? Because they're living in their design, and they're moving the way they're designed to move, and their emotions and their thoughts are tied to their movement. They're whole beings, body, mind, soul, and spirit. And that's you. So you can't separate one part out from another. And the good news is you're designed to move, and that's what builds your brain and your nervous system. But if it builds your brain and your nervous system and your movements are attached to how you feel and how you think, that street can also run the other way. How you think and how you feel can affect how you move. So from a performance standpoint, performance is expression. And you are expression suits. Whatever's happening on the inside gets expressed on the outside. Oh, by the way, this is for Adam Sinclair right here. I am from a town called Fuquay-Varina, and this is how you pronounce it, Fuquay-Varina. I suggest you don't try pronouncing it on your own unless you're with a professional or a local, because I was told this is a family show, so you need to be careful. I've been training since 1988, crawling since 1975. And my story is, we probably got a lot in common. Anyone ever here ever hurt yourself training? Just a few? Man, the rest of you are smart. Those of you that hurt yourself training, did you keep training anyway? Yeah. Did you stay hurt? Yeah. So that was me. I had some overuse injuries, and I kept showing up anyway because that was what I did and that was who I was. And one day I realized I wasn't getting any better, so I got really smart and I decided to invest in corrective exercises. So then I learned all this wonderful corrective exercise technique and I added it to my training, which was wonderful because then I got to do corrective exercises for an hour and then I got to train for an hour. So then I was like 2 hours of me care. But that didn't work either. And so, by the way, I'm a big kid. I love Superman. Always have. So I was sitting around one night and I was thinking, well, I've learned all this stuff and I know I'm applying it right, although I was not, because what did my body need? Needed rest. But I couldn't do that because that wasn't what I did. I showed up every day, checked the box, and that's who I was. I was the guy that was always at the gym, right? So one night I was like, you know what? I feel broken, and I did not know what to do. So I threw a Hail Mary up, and I asked God to show me how to train to be like Superman. And he took that Hail Mary seriously. 2 weeks later, I picked up a book on learning disorders in children, and God just started connecting the dots, and he showed me how wonderfully designed the human body is. And so that's how all this started. By the way, does anybody know, was overtraining my problem? Sure. But my problem was, I didn't know who I was. I had attached my identity to showing up at the gym and training, the guy that trains. I might not be the only one in here who's done that, but that was my major problem because I was afraid to not show up and train. I had a fear problem also. But what I learned is that we're designed to be strong. And you guys, I'm not going to tell you anything you don't know. Your body was designed to be resilient and strong throughout your entire lives. If you live to be 99, you're still supposed to be designed to enjoy a quality of life and do the things that a 99-year-old should enjoy doing. Playing with the grandkids, going for walks, camping outside, whatever you want to do. You know that your body's designed to heal. And again, strength is expression. Performance is expression. And we are expression suits. And all of you right now have all the strength in your body that you could ever need to live your life the way you want to. It's in all of you. But you may not actually have access to your strength. And the way you get access to your strength is living in your design. And all that means is doing what you were born to do. By the way, I was kind of excited to be here. Excited. I think that learning is best through experience. Like if you experience something, you know it, you own it. So if you would try to experience this with me, that way you don't have to believe what I say, you don't have to accept it or reject it. You get to decide for yourself what we're talking about, right? If you have room, if you would ask your body a question, and you can ask your body a question through testing your range of motion. You can test a toe touch, a squat, shoulder flexion, whatever, but check in with your body and see how it's moving. And then we can press reset, like Chip was talking about, and then we can ask your body what it thought about that. Make sense? So real quick, everybody stand up. If you got sore knees or sore hips, just getting up and out of the chair is a check-in. So touch your toes. If you put your face in somebody's butt, introduce yourselves. I mean, it's only the polite thing to do. And once you've got that, you can sit back down. So movement builds us. It builds our brain, it builds our nervous system. We're designed to move. And if we live in our design, if we breathe the way we were born to breathe, and if we, as a child, you move through your developmental sequence, and that's totally what ties you together, nervous system together, body together. We're born, of all the mammals, we're kind of unique. Well, of all anything, we're unique. But we're born extremely weak to become strong. Through our weakness, strength is made perfect. And we have these features like very large heads, little tiny bodies, little limbs, and we're implanted with a movement program or developmental sequence that drives us to move. And the cool thing about that is that, you ever heard you use it or lose it? And that is true, but you can't lose what you were born with. So you never lose that original operating system that you were born with. And if you plug into it at any age, it will start doing for you today what it did for you when you were a child. And it will start nourishing your brain, tying your brain together, connecting your left and right hemispheres, and allowing your body to move again the way it was designed to move. You will get stronger, more fluid, more everything. Your expression is more available. So Chip alluded to this, but what is the one question your brain is always asking? Am I safe? It's always asking that. And if you live in your design, you are always telling your brain that you are safe. And the answer to the question determines the expression. If you're safe, you can freely express yourself. If you're not safe, you're not going to be able to freely express yourself because you're going to be inhibited. Your brain is an organ of inhibition, which means it's an organ of liberation also. You guys know what a sea anemone is? So they're all beautiful and flowy, and they give their beauty to the world when they're safe. What do they do when they feel threatened? They shrink like a frightened turtle. Seinfeld, anyone? Any Seinfeld? Like a frightened turtle. But they draw up and they withdraw from the world. And that's what we do. We operate the exact same way. When we're safe, we freely express ourselves. We stand up here, we can do what we want. But if we feel threatened, if we've had trauma, if we are injured, we don't feel safe anymore and we withdraw. And our world shrinks. And not only that, we take the world with us. Think about it. When you can freely express yourself, you give your joy, your light, your love to the world, you help people, you smile, you tip people, you do things for people, you're free. You move the way you want to. You feel good, you feel amazing because that's how you're designed. But when you're threatened or you hurt, when you're injured, when you've had trauma, you withdraw. And not only do you withdraw, you take from the world because you're not giving anything anymore. And you're actually selfish because all you can think about is your pain, your trauma, and your issues, right? We're designed that way, but we're not. That's what happens when we don't necessarily live in our design. So how do we live in our design and how do we tell our brain we're safe? We do these three things. We breathe the way we're born to breathe. We activate our vestibular system through moving our eyes and our head, and we engage in our gait pattern. And if we do those three things, we're always telling our brain we're safe. And if you do those three things, you're doing what Chip said, press and reset. Yes, ma'am. Yep. So that's what it means to press reset. Anybody ever have anybody older than 40? Sweet. The rest of you, there used to be this thing called an Atari and a Nintendo. There were two of them. So on the Nintendo, if the game would just hang up and it would freeze up, and there's a reset button on it. And a lot of times, that fixed the game. Sometimes it didn't. You took out the cartridge, you blew on it, and you slapped it on your thigh, you put it back in the machine, and then the game worked the way it was supposed to. That was a hard Nintendo reset. Our nervous system is kind of like that because change happens in your body at the speed of your own nervous system, which is that fast. Your body can feel safe, receive a message, and have better expression just like that. Also, it can go the other way. Not feel safe, not as great expression. So press and reset is just living in your design. And the most miraculous, wonderful thing is that it's fast. You don't have to wait forever. Your body knows how to heal, and it knows how to do it right now. So we're designed to breathe. This could be the most important slide up here. So we're born to be nasal breathers. We're born where we're designed that our tongue should rest on the roof of our mouth. And if you help anybody just know that, you'll change their life forever. And if you're not sure where that is, swallow, feel where your tongue goes, and that's where it belongs. And just keeping it there will change everything about the way you move and how you feel for the rest of your life. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? Y'all want to let's learn. Everybody stand up. So I want you to open your mouth, put your tongue on the floor of your mouth, and test your baseline, whatever that was that you did a while ago. A while ago is a Fuquay-Varina term. And after you do that, I want you to close your mouth, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and test your baseline. Was there a change? I heard some mhms. Yeah? So your tongue is actually connected to your vestibular system, but it's also wired to your diaphragm, and it helps you breathe easier. So you can also try to take your tongue off the roof of your mouth and take a big breath of air. Cool. You guys are good breathers. Now put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, take a big breath of air. Was it different? So, by the way, we're born to fill our lungs up from the bottom, like to reach the bottom. That's important. Breath. Are you anybody tired of hearing about breathing lately? Yeah. Don't be. Yeah. Keeps you alive. But if you look at this, like breathing, there's nothing about your body that breathing does not affect. It affects all the way down to how your genes express themselves. There is not one single thing about you that your breath does not ultimately determine the outcome of. So if you could get good at just one thing and you could master one movement, it should probably be breathing. This comes from Ezekiel. I like to do weird things. Can these dry bones live? I'll just read it for you guys in the back. Surely I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. I will put sinews on you and bring flesh upon you, cover you with skin, put breath in you, and you shall live. The point of this slide is no matter who you are, how old you are, where you are, it's not too late. Your breath can bring life to your body. So let's try it real quick. Let's put your hands like this. And you want to put your thumbs on your kidneys. And your fingers are wrapped around your belly. And we're going to close your lips, breathe in through your nose, tongue on the roof of your mouth, and you're just trying to put air where your thumb and your fingers are. This is called the power pose, by the way. There's a really cool Ted Lasso episode about this in season 2. You guys feel your breath moving your fingers? Does anybody just feel better right now? Cool. All right, test your baseline, whatever that movement was, and just see how it feels. Any change? At the speed of your own nervous system. Just like that. You want to do a really cool one? All right, it's weird, but you guys look like you're into weird stuff. So we're going to stand like this. I'll talk you through it, and then we'll do it. You're going to take a big breath in, and on your exhale, though, you're going to hum. And you're just going to hum until the humming stops, and then you're going to let go and let the air come back inside of you, and then we'll do it again. You guys are quiet hummers. Bert, I told you I could get all of them to do that, and you didn't believe me. I'm just kidding. Okay, now test your baseline. I don't know. That's a good question. I think they stumbled onto something. Oh, it does vagal, yeah, for sure. How many, did that change make a difference? Did you also feel more calm and relaxed humming? Yeah. Well, the good news is you also made more nitric oxide, which is good for your brain, your neuroplasticity, and your heart, and your blood vessels, and good stuff. That's your breath. We're designed, that's how we're designed to breathe. Oh, backwards is not forwards. You guys can sit down. Thank you for standing there. And for those of you that didn't hum, we'll try again. So your diaphragm is your breathing muscle, but it is so much more than that. It's your captain core stabilizer. It stabilizes your spine. And when you use it properly, you bring air to the bottom of your lungs. And if you don't use it properly, more than likely you're a mouth breather and you're breathing up in your neck and chest. And that's where air is not reaching the bottom of your lungs. And that's kind of a problem because like 2/3 of your oxygen receiving alveoli are in the bottom of your lungs, not the top. And when you breathe through your mouth, it's shallower, it's faster because you don't have as many, the way you're designed, you don't have as many alveoli to receive that oxygen. So you're not even getting the oxygen where you want to. So you're breathing faster, breathing more rapidly. And you know what you're telling your brain? I am not safe. Not only that, your brain thinks something's really wrong because every breath you take is shallow and you're not getting the air you need. So your brain's got to speed up your heart. It's got to do all these other things. It's got to raise your cortisol. It's got to raise your adrenaline. It's got to, like, something's wrong. And I don't know what it is, but just something's not right. Not safe. So what happens when you're not safe? Things tighten up. Things hurt. Things get slower, things get weaker, things get smaller. You can't freely express yourself. And this is so wild, but like your diaphragm is neurologically connected to your pelvic floor and your TVA. And they all dance together when you breathe. In fact, your pelvic floor and your TVA get electrical signals to fire before your diaphragm even moves. And when your diaphragm is doing its job, your pelvic floor is now doing its job. They're dancing together. TVA is doing its job. When you breathe the way you were born to breathe and designed to breathe, your spine is stable. And you are strong. Strength happens from the center out. Breathing properly is strength training, especially for a child. They're knitting their body together. It's where you can return to knit your body back together as an adult. Pelvic floor dysfunction, learn how to breathe. Weak core, learn how to breathe. Tight hamstrings, learn how to breathe. If your spine's not stable, why would your brain let you touch your toes? Why wouldn't it make your hamstrings tight? Because that's what it does. Do you need to stretch your hamstrings? No. Because if it's a protection mechanism, what is stretching going to do for them other than make you vulnerable to an injury? But when you're living in your design, your brain lets go of that tension to protect you anymore. It doesn't need to. It trusts you. So if you breathe in design, you're telling your brain you're safe, you get access to your expression. If you breathe in your mouth, up in your chest, you're telling your brain not safe, you lose access. You get inhibited to what you can do. Your expression gets smaller. Not only that, expression is not just physical. Creativity, thinking, emotions, that's expression. Your creativity and your thinking and your ability to logically solve things and see things is expression. When you feel safe, you can clearly, more freely do that. When you don't feel safe, you can't think, you can't focus, you make poor decisions. For an athlete, not feeling safe on the field, they're going to make mistakes. And this is the genius of strength. Anybody have a child, ever have a child, baby? That's it? All right, the rest of you, have you ever seen a baby other than this one? All right, so this is the brilliance of the human design. A child is born with a head that weighs 33% as much as its body. And it is given a reflex that drives it to put its eyes and head up on the horizon. It's a relentless reflex. Day in and day out, that child is driven to get that big watermelon level with the horizon. Who weighs 200 pounds in here, at least? All right, let's say you only weigh 200 pounds. That would be like having a 66-pound head. Can you imagine how strong you would be if you were walking around right now with a 66-pound head? You would be insanely strong. So, therefore, a child grows up insanely strong and resilient because they are forced to learn head control because of their riding reflex. And have you ever seen, like he's doing right now, that big giant watermelon is now up. Every single muscle in your body is attached to the movements of your head and neck because that's where your vestibular system lives. Every single muscle in your body. You want to train your body to get strong? Get control of your head. If you have control of your head, you have a strong body. So your vestibular system is your very first sensory system to develop. It just starts developing 21 days after conception. It's fully developed 5 months after conception. And all the movements your mother makes, her breathing, her heart rate, and anything that happens to her body, that information travels through the child's vestibular system and helps build its brain. Movement is what builds us. Even the movement that you receive before you're strong enough to make your own movements is what builds you. Sally Goddard Blythe is a child psychologist. She has this quote, it's pretty good. Mastering head control is essential for balance, posture, and coordination. What she's really saying is mastering head control is essential for strength and performance and living the life you want to live. Hey, let's try it. Everybody stand up. So we're going to stand in the power pose again. And you're going to put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and you're going to take your eyes up and head up as far as it'll go, and then eyes down, head down. If you don't look like a human Pez dispenser, it's okay. Just move where you can move. Lead with the eyes. Tongue's on the roof of the mouth. And if you want to realize the importance of the tongue in movement, take your tongue off the roof of your mouth and see how good that feels. Probably not as good. It restricts your movement. All right. Everybody having a good time? Yes, good. All right, great. All right, check your baseline. See how you're moving. Did it change? Less traffic? I like you guys. Let's do one more. Here we go. Eyes all the way right, head to the right. Eyes all the way left, head to the left. And just tongue on the roof of your mouth, always for the rest of your life. Never move it unless you're talking. And then when you're done playing with it, put it back. It's just like Mom told you. Put your toys away when you're done. Awesome. Check your baseline real quick. Any change? If that made you dizzy, we went too far. The beautiful thing about your design is your body will tell you when you've gone too far. If your range of motion disappears, your brain felt uneasy about what you just did. If it freely gives to you expression, your brain's like, hey, I like that, let's do that. Let's keep going. If something takes away from you, it's not necessarily bad for you, it just might mean that you've reached too far and it's not time yet. Like a baby doesn't come out running, comes out just laying there. It builds up the strength over a few years to start running, right? So, how many of you have heard where the head goes, the body follows? It's absolutely true. Physically, if your head goes into flexion, your body wants to go into flexion, go into extension, your body wants to open up into extension, rotation. But every truth has a parallel, right? So where your head goes, your body follows. How many of you know you have never had a thought that your body doesn't know about? You can't do it. Your thoughts are information. They either make your brain feel safe or they make your brain feel not safe. Safe thoughts, free expression. Unsafe thoughts, not free expression. Your thoughts matter. So if you look in the mirror and say, man, I'm fat, guess what you just did? Threatened your brain. You've limited your performance and your expression that day. And you're reinforcing, you're going to get the output, the expression that you're putting in. If you're watching bad stuff, listening to bad things, you're telling your brain you're not safe. Junk in, junk out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Anybody ever hear that? Whatever things are lovely, think on these things. So, let's try it. This is weird, but let's just have fun. So, in your head or out loud, it's up to you, say, I am weak and no one loves me, over and over again. In your head or out loud.
I am weak and no one loves me. I am weak and no one loves me.
All right, so now test your baseline. Like I saw that, and that took away almost 12 inches of some of your range of motion. You guys see that? What goes in matters. If we're looking at strength and expression and performance or whatever you want to call it, being you, how you are in this world, it matters. Now do this. I am strong and Chip Morton loves me. How many, you know he loves you, right? I am strong and Chip Morton loves me. I am strong and Chip Morton loves me. I am strong, yes, and Chip Morton loves me. Now test your baseline. At the speed of your own nervous system. You guys see it? Does it matter? That is your design. That is our design. But we're also designed to live in our gait pattern. And this is the most miraculous thing a human can do. 2 foot walking, right? We stand up, bipedal, but we're really not. We're still 4 limbs moving. So to really press reset on your nervous system, breathe the way you were born to breathe, have head control. And tongue placement is part of head control, by the way. And then be able to roll, rock, crawl, walk, sprint. That's your gait pattern. How many, look, guys, watch me roll. I'm going to roll standing up, but, can you see the gait pattern in that? Like if I'm on the floor rolling and you're standing over me, this is what you're seeing. It's the gait pattern. Before crawling is the gait pattern, rolling is the gait pattern. Rolling, rocking, crawling, they connect both hemispheres of your brain, build your nervous system up, but they connect this side of your body to this side of your body, this side of your body, this side of your body, front and back side. They connect your X. They connect you. So if it takes 4 limbs to crawl, how many limbs should it take to walk? Walking is the miracle movement humans were designed to make that keeps your body tied together and strong if you live in your design. And this is nuts and you won't believe me, that's okay, but if you investigate this and search it on your own, you'll find out. Walking will make you as strong as you want to be if you're tied together. And if not, crawling will make you as strong as you ever wanted to be. It will tie you together. So if you train and load your gait pattern, you will build superhuman strength. And it will allow you to express your strength in all the ways you enjoy expressing it, in the weight room, on the field, wherever. Just for fun, that lower left corner, I don't do this anymore, but that was a 1-mile crawl. Elevated, nonstop, head on the horizon, tongue on the roof of the mouth, lips shut, nasal breathing, never open the mouth, never stop, 44 minutes, 1 second. You can do anything. You can do it. Oh, but always down below the head, never up. You can do anything. You can discover the strength that's in you, and then you can add to it. This is South Carolina football. They're dragging chains, loaded carries. You load your gait pattern, you will get ridiculously strong. And it will make all your lifts better, all your stuff on the field better. That's your design. You want to load something, load what you're born to do. All right, I got to tell you this. See that lady right there? That's Gertrude. You guys can sit down real quick because this one's going to require you to sit down to experience it. So Gertrude was 72. She had a heart attack. Health started declining. She ended up on her walker. And she came into my friend Rick's training studio, but her husband had to help her. Rick met Gertrude where she was at and helped her discover her design. He set her down in a chair just like you are right now, and he taught her how to do this. This is a cross crawl. It's kind of like your gait pattern. Opposite limbs are moving, you're crossing midline, but you're also making contact. This is like candy for your brain. This is what Gertrude did. 15 minutes later, Gertrude stood up, grabbed her walker, and walked out of Rick's place, and her husband was still standing beside Rick. Her husband watched his wife walk out, looked at Rick, looked at his wife, and her husband started crying. At the speed of Gertrude's nervous system, she got her body back. But really what's wild and beautiful and cool is at the speed of Gertrude's nervous system, her husband got his wife back. 6 months later, Gertrude is crawling across Rick's floor, dragging a 100-pound chain while she's crawling. 6 months after that, Gertrude is learning how to do deadlifts, pull deadlifts up off the floor. Barbell deadlifts. That's not normal, but that is the design. Besides, you all know this, none of y'all are designed to live in a normal bell curve anyway, right? Your body's designed to heal. No matter what age you are, no matter what has happened to it, you can go from good is breathing, being alive. If you're here, you're good, but you can always go from good and move towards better. And then from there, you can move towards best for you. If you have physical injuries and structural changes, yes, you have them. But your nervous system can still optimize that and integrate it and learn how to move it, and you can still move extremely well with your limitations. If you have emotional hurts and trauma, yes, you have it, and your body knows it and remembers it. But if you live in your design, your body can learn to let go of it and let you heal so that you can freely move better, feel better, and express yourself better. So, I need to be able to sleep tonight. Can all you do this so I know that y'all know how to do cross crawls? Because if you can teach somebody how to do this, you can help anybody. It might be hard to teach somebody how to find their diaphragm and breathe right, but this is pretty easy. This is low-hanging fruit. Okay, good. I'll sleep tonight. So we're designed to be strong. And that means we're designed to feel good. And that means we're designed to feel safe, because if the gate to feeling good is safety, we must be designed to feel safe, which means we're designed to be loved. Because you can't really be safe if you don't really feel loved, right? So, but that's our design. So, and Chip said I could do this, so we'll see. If you have a design, you consider the designer. And let perfect love cast out all fear. And if you can do that, you'll have access to your strength, your full potential, your full being. That's living in your design also. So I did have an identity problem, and the cool thing about the whole story was I didn't know who I was, and God showed me how he designed a human body, and in doing that, I saw how beautifully designed the body was made, and I learned through that I was loved. And now that is my identity. And if you're like looking at that picture, and like I would ask you, which one are you in that picture? You're the small one, if you don't know. But we're meant to live in that. We're meant to be loved and have access to our full expression. These are some books I've written. If you're interested, there's some free ones up here. First come, first serve. I don't know how we're doing that. And that's my email address, my phone number, websites, if you need them. And now, Mr. Luke Day.
That was awesome. All right, we hummed, we did the thing. Yeah, absolutely. Quick. I'm supposed to pass out Kool-Aid, and then this is it, folks, okay? That's what we're supposed to do. I'm going to pull one thing from what the expressions, okay? Because like you guys are going to come off the mountain, and you saw Chip, and you saw Tim, and you're going to go back to your weight rooms if you're a strength coach, and they're going to be like, why do you go to SummerStrong and get so weird? Just lift, stop being weird, all right? But if you just consider these, if you were training a team, the expression of what our clientele, they play football, okay? The expression of their strength is their ability to cover ground. For example, next month, we're going to start having camps. Okay, we're going to have 10,000 kids come to camp. First thing we're going to do is we're going to test how well they cover ground, okay? And if that's not what we want it to be, they get a Chick-fil-A sandwich and they get a T-shirt, okay? And if it is what we want it to be, and it's really, really what we want it to be, they get a private tour immediately because of the way that they cover ground, okay? So we're gonna roll through this, and then we're gonna break some pool sticks in half and see how much you guys want Tim's book, okay? All right, keep going. Let's just hit that thing. Let's go, okay? So I want you to consider this. When you cover ground, it is all four limbs working together via the opposite side of your brain. That's where it started. It started with the rolling that Tim talked about. So we just said, what if that's the highest expression of our quarterback, Manoah Seller's strength. He's a great squatter. That's not what helps us win. The highest expression of his strength. This is the fastest a human being carried a football in 2023, the NFL included. And he got drafted 32nd overall. Rolling, cover ground. Rolling, cover ground. Get him down. This is what we are asking these human beings to do. This is Demetrius Knight, his second-round draft pick a couple weeks ago. This is his first play as a Gamecock. Cover ground, change levels, carry. This is the 35th overall pick for the Seattle Seahawks. Cover ground, carry. Cover ground, carry. So when we bring a recruit in, we want to blow their head off with, have you considered when you play football, you first and foremost, you're just covering ground. The next thing that you're doing, the video, please, and I'll be very, very quick, very, very brief, all right? Some of you guys, you had chicken, like an hour ago? You're going to get catabolic. Your squat, it's going to be a whole thing. You carry, all right? Well, guess what blocking is? It's putting your hands on someone and taking them where they don't want to go. Your hands started engaged on the ground and you moved with all four limbs to cover ground. Then you're putting your hands on someone else to carry someone to the ground, to carry someone from here to there, 4 yards and a cloud of dust. Blocking is carrying. There's Rocket Sanders carrying a ball. There's Kamara Bell carrying a human. Touchdown Gamecocks. Load the chassis. Carry. Load it. I just want you to see this, okay? All right? You guys are gonna try this right here. Then, when you put those things together, all right, we call it the work of man. The resets is revisiting man's kind, okay? The expressions of our strength on the field is man's work. And when you combine it, it's man's game. So basically, football, you are doing some variation of carrying, covering ground, and my favorite, Vince Lombardi was a genius, man. The grass drills are still undefeated. How well can you change levels? I guarantee you will go to the first practice and someone will get yelled at for playing too high. If we don't understand it, like Tim was talking about, all right, there's the world's most popular level change. We're gonna have a level change competition here in about a couple hours, all right? It's a level change. It's a level change, and the expression of this level change that you guys highly, highly, highly value. This is not a public disservice to the barbell, all right? This whole industry was built on it. But you guys love to change levels with the bar on your back. This guy's gonna get paid enormous amounts of money because his ability to cover ground and change levels without slowing down. When you can cover ground, and there's a change level right there that he just snapped him, right? Here's a single-sided, this side of his body, stepping up. That you guys have done a step up. We're not breaking the bank here, all right? But then everybody loves that. He just covered ground better than that guy. He just changed levels. He just carried that ball into the different colored grass. So when we want to train our team, what is their expression of their strength? And if the only thing that we say is those things right there will have them prepared for it, and do not attack me, okay? We just don't think that you can be football prepared, the expression of man's work, and only barbell demanded. That's it. So we are constantly looking for ways, okay, to cover ground, change levels, and carry, and combine them all together. Because the more of those big three that you put together, all right, the higher your heart rate goes, all right, the higher your breath rate changes, and the more your thought rate changes. That's Chip's definition of something that is hard. Does it change your heart rate, your breath rate, and your thoughts you're having? Now something's hard. Everybody wants training to be hard, okay? So listen, if you do not plan on winning the deadlift competition or the squat, I need 2 volunteers, okay? All right? Oh, everybody plans on winning. Okay, here we go. All right, you and you, come on. All right, so if we started out, the first thing I wanted to do, all right, Danny, where you at? Danny, all right, she just wrote a blog, all right, on the Original Strength website, okay, and she's got a banger of a line that is, you stand over here, face that way, crowd's that way, okay? She said, it's not a force problem, okay? It's not a lack of force, which we all want more force, more gas, more horsepower. It's a lack of control. Right now, all right, I want you guys to get all fours, put your knees on the ground, okay? If you guys want to see, you can stand up. If you can't, whatever, okay? And the first thing I want you to do is get that head up above your, right there. Okay, this is for a book, okay? All right, chin up. Now, ready? Knees up 1 inch, man, okay? If you didn't shave your knees, and some of you guys do, I saw you on the way in, okay? All right, I want those little furry hairs to barely touch right there on the floor. Keep your chin up real high, higher, okay? Perfect, all right? Now what I want you to do is I want you to rock back, bring your butt back to your heels. I don't want you to rock forward till your deltoid goes over top of your middle fingernail. All right, do it. Go. Faster. Come on, go. No, stop. Don't go anywhere. Just rock. Get your head up. Head up. So you're on your official visit with South Carolina, and you're 330 pounds, and you are 6'7", and we are making you do this. Okay, keep your head up, all right? For it's one off, if you turn it down, we don't want you, okay? And then if you can do it, we really want you. And if you can't do it, we can prove to you how much we can help you. And now we've just won the recruiting battle against a bunch of other guys we don't like, okay? Now look, we're gonna rock. I want you to rock. I want you to touch your chest. Boom, now rock right back into it, okay? I forgot to tell you what you're competing against. The first person to put their knee down doesn't get the book, okay? Keep your chin up. Chin up, chin up, chin up. I want you to rock and touch your chest. You keep your hat. I'm gonna take your hat off. Nice struggle, well hat, dude. All right, put that right there. Okay, we're gonna, every time I say hit, I want you to touch your chest to the floor. Ready? Hit, touch it, boom, rock right back. Hit, boom, rock right back. Ready? Hit, if the hat falls off, you lose. If your knee touches, you lose. If you don't touch your chest, you lose. Don't touch it yet. Hit, come on, touch it, come on, come on. All right, yeah, look, I got that time. Hit, come on, keep going. There we go. Let's go. Hit, yep. Yep, thank you for being honest about the deadlift combo. Hit, come on, touch, boom. Now, crawl to the edge, crawl to the edge. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Opposite arm, keep your head up. Where's your head? All right, matter if you have that 66-pound head. Come on, keep coming, right there. Now square it back up where you were. I want your feet, get your knees back under your hips. Get your knees back under your hips. Oh, you're about to lose that hat, brother. It's about to be over. Head up real high. Rock back. Touch your chest, hit. Let's go. Let's get fun. Oh, okay, here we go. And we're done. Give him a hand. It's your winner right here. Just stand up, stand up, stand up. Great job, great job, great job, great job, great job. All right. Thank you guys for doing that. Hey, look, here's what we're trying to do, okay? It starts with, okay, there's something we're still trying to figure it out, okay? All of our offensive linemen, 350, 365, 400 pounds, okay? Bench pressers. They can't do that. We spend all summer long working to 5 cones, multiple push-ups at every cone, with a cone on your back, a little traffic cone, the heavy one. If that cone falls off, you lose. Every day we track something called the hard stuff, okay? Everybody gets a trophy. They both get a book. Give them a hand, all right? Boom. All right, you guys pick whichever one you want. Pick whichever one you want. Okay, now, this is the last thing I got. This is the banger, okay? All right, seriously now, okay? Now, Tim did say you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Maybe you could do this and win the squat competition. I mean, maybe I need 2 more volunteers. 2 more. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do this, okay? I don't have the lightest ones. What's the light? Oh, we'll get and do it with dumbbells. Okay, yep. All right, okay, the 2 females that just raised your hand, come here. And we're gonna have a male category too. Okay, I saw you, yep, boom, and 2, perfect. Come on, yeah, that's fine. These 2, I'm sorry. Oh, you get a t-shirt later on. Okay, you did it, you stood up. No, come on, you're up. All right, now I need 2 males. All right, I'm talking big fellas. All right, no, you don't count, okay? All right, yeah, you, come on, okay? Ladies, okay, how can we keep this even? All right, you grab the 20s. Is there another set of 20-pound dumbbells here? You get these, okay? And you get these. Fellas, you get the 40-pound CMBs. Hurry up, we got time. Lee Haney's here, for God's sakes. All right? Yeah, you guys go one arm. Perfect. Here we go. Here, you got one in each hand, brother. You got one in each hand. We're going to combine carrying, changing levels, and covering ground. We call this the walk-in press, okay? The walk-in press. What I want you to do, let's get a rehearsal here first, okay? You guys go right hand. Right hand. Are you right-handed? Yep. Okay, you right-handed? Yep. Okay, so I want you got it here, okay? You guys are going to do it with both hands. I want you to swing it to here. Boom, swing it there. Okay, boom, yep, right there. All right, squat down to your elbows, touch your knees. Okay, stand up, press it over your head. Boom, that's 1. Okay, here we go. Ready? All right, we're just gonna see who can last. Okay, put it at your hips. Put it at your hips. Every single time you're gonna come right back to it. Ready? Swing. Squat. Elbows. Oh, sorry, sir, that rep does not count. Okay, your elbows have to touch your knees. Elbows got to touch your knees. Put it right back at your hips every time. Okay, here we go. Swing. Squat. Press. Boom. That's it. Yep. Bring it right back to your hips. That's 1. Swing. Squat. Press. 2. Let's keep rolling. Here we go. Swing. Squat. Press. Dang, look at me. I should have did some more curls before I came up here. Ready? Swing. Squat. Press. What number is that? Okay. Swing. Come on. Squat. Press. Boom. Let's go. Swing. Squat. Press. Let's go. Let's go, dude. Swing. Squat. Press. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Swing. Squat. You sign a waiver. Press. Here we go. Ready. Swing. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Squat. Ah, sir, that rep does not count. You win. You guys still going? You ready? Here we go. Swing. Let's go. Squat. Press. You're good. You win, man. You get a book. Here we go. Swing. Squat. Press. Boom. Here we go. Swing. Come on. Squat. Press. What rep are we on? Hey, it's going to get gnarly here. All right. Swing. Squat. Press. Here we go. Swing. Squat. Press. Swing. Squat. Press. You're doing great. Swing. Squat. Press. Swing. Squat. We're gonna do 5 more. Here we go. Everybody gonna count. This is, all right, we're 5, 4, 8, right? 5. There it is. All right. Ready. And go. 4. Yeah. Here we go. Going to 3. Swing. Squat. Uh-oh. Yep. Hit it. You got it. 3. Touch that elbow. 2. Now here we go. Come on. Boom. 2. Yep. Here we go. One more. Give him a hand. You guys are awesome. Put them down. You're good, right? Put them down right there. All right. You can pick out whatever you want. I can't believe you brought orange shirts, Tim. Unbelievable, dude. All right? Now, hey, listen, that's called the walking press. We progress that all summer long. It starts with, if you wanted to do this drill, you got the amount of reps here. You walk 5 yards overhead. Those same amount of reps. 5 more yards. Those same amount of reps. Walk backwards with it, 10. Those same amount of reps. By the end of the summer, we want the entire team to be able to do 10 at every stop. 10. Okay? Why? Okay? In the age of chalk 'em up, no disrespect to the chalkless guy, okay? It's grab the bar, do something cool, drop it. High five. Put the next Little Baby song on. Okay? But what's up with after, we always say, what happens after play 6, 7, 8, 9, the second series, the third series, the fourth series. There's gonna be 9 series, all right? The ability to endure, to override your systems, your thoughts, your heart rate, your breath rate, and express what it is that you do on the field. This is all just an expression of the genesis of seeds that these 2 men planted in my life. It changed how I train people. It changed how I train. Okay? What I think of strength is, okay? You guys are unbelievably badass, strong people, and the expression of your strength is gonna be in that rack. I'm just asking you to ask yourself, is the personnel that you're training, is that the highest expression of their strength? That's all that I have, okay? If you guys got any questions, I don't know if we have time for that or anything like that. Thank you. Give these 2 guys a hand.